right, well, it's just about 9 a.m., so I'll call the meeting to order and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, roll call.
Mochler.
Here.
Graylobe.
Here.
Smith.
Here,
Teasy.
Here.
Hammond.
Here.
are there any conflicts of interest to declare? Hearing none. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Move to approve.
Okay,
Second.
approved, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the motion passes. Okay, minutes, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion. Minutes.
Okay,
Second.
it's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Are there any visitors to be heard?
So I know the commission is aware of this, but I just wanted to express this as well. Last week, I turned in my resignation as state's attorney effective June 1st. And I just wanted to express to you all in person how much I appreciate working with you and have appreciated that. And to express to our community how much I value the trust that they all have placed in me as state's attorney for the past 6 years. Our office has really grown in technology advancement. We have such a strong, knowledgeable team. And we've been able to provide sound, solid support to the county. And I know that that is done in partnership with you all. And so I really appreciate the opportunities that you have provided. I know that not everybody is as fortunate as I have been to get to work with such an amazing board. And I hear that from colleagues. And I just truly am appreciative that my reality for my time as state's attorney has been to work with amazing commissioners. And I know not all of them are still on the board, but out of all of you and those that have come beforehand as well, I really appreciate that partnership. And I know that that's going to continue. Happy to assist in this transition over the next few months in whatever ways that I can as you select the person to finish out my term here. They are going to inherit an awesome team and a great group of department heads, commissioners, officers to get to work with. And I'm really excited as I get to transition into this new role with the Attorney General's office to be able to still work with the county and serve the people in this new capacity. So I wanted to thank you for the opportunities you provided. And I'm excited for this next chapter. So thank you guys.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for your devoted service and your hard work and your amazing ability to be on top of what's happening at the moment. And we certainly, all of us, appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And it's a little sad. Okay, any other visitors? Hey, Samantha, talk about the Stop Violence Grant application.
Yes, it's that time of year again to submit our application for our domestic violence grant. I believe you all have a copy of that in your commission packet. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Caitlin is actually taking over the grant now, and so she's the one who put together the application. She'll be submitting this, but she's in court this morning. So I'm pitch hitting for her and asking permission for her to submit that.
Okay.
It looks pretty much like what we've had in the past.
It does, yes.
It's-
Not much has changed.
I didn't hold them up side by side, but in reading through, I saw that it was quite familiar. And so I'd move that we go ahead and apply for this.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I read the first one carefully and then I read the second one. I was just like, this all looks almost the same. Is it the only difference just removing?
Yes,
Alexis.
we should have thought that through a little
That
bit
makes
more.
sense.
The first one that she did, we did have Alexis in there.
Yeah.
And we took it out on the second one and left it blank for a state's attorney just because we weren't sure where things were gonna end up. So we just
Okay.
thought it'd be easier to just leave it off. It's less money, but hopefully next year we'll have things more solidified and we can ask for more again.
Okay, any other questions or? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Right.
It gets easier every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last, on the regular agenda is Scott, facilities.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about the commissioners table. That's one of the first things I was asked about when I started about a year ago from Mr. Mockler. So we've been looking for about a year. Been reached out to 3 different companies that said they could help us. I reported on one that came in rather high. And another one, I haven't had much luck getting him to move on it, but I have Mr. Lowell Cook here from Lowell Cook Construction, who happens to be conveniently located across the street here. So he's been looking at one for our commissioners table. So long story short, about 8,000, is that what the figure was?
Yeah, what about, we just started with getting numbers, we had the footprint here that,
If you want to come up
Yeah.
here, you can.
yeah, I'd given that, and I tell you what, here, this figure, I didn't make enough copies, I guess, but everybody can kind of, you guys can, we can all share, how's that? That's kind of that. This is just a, kind of just a pleasure thing, or actually, J&J Casework, which I buy a lot of stuff from, they do a lot of stuff for me on campus there. This drawing right here is actually for something right now.
Kind of tough to see, but being
For a Vera, right now, it's a real common, the configuration or the construction is, like I said, is they're building this right now for our Vera. And what it would be is the face would be any type of, it all is all plastic laminate. But and again, there's just thousands of different colors of plastic laminate, and all the same price, really, there's some premiums and some aren't. So it would all be plastic laminate, construction, and it would be pre-constructed by J&J Casework. We bring it in and it would just assemble. And common type of thing that they make and do. So as far as colors or whatever, you see in that face wall is a wall because it's that's where wiring and communication wiring would come inside of that cavity and pop up wherever you wanted to drill into the top, put outlets or data ports or whatever you want to put there. And those are, I don't have that in there. That would be, again, would be the electricians typically do that. And there's lots of different styles of those data ports and outlets. There's ones that you just push them and pop up. Ones that stick up above and you see them as you would be sitting here, or they could just be flush. Would be the simplest one, would be just a flush outlet mounted in the top, just laying there. But again, just trying to get a start somewhere, what you guys might have in mind. As you can see, the footprint of it that I've priced right here is 16 feet. 16 feet, which we can put on the floor here. Tape, I bought a tape and just some masking tape, we could just see what it would be. If you guys are thinking, again, we're just trying to start somewhere and figure out.
Right now, from that corner to this corner, you're stretched out at 21.5 feet. And between that column behind you and that wall is 18 feet, if that kind of puts it in perspective. So you'd be able to fit between that column in that wall if you wanted to go back that far.
Are these tables 8 long then, Steve?
Probably. Yep, 8,
Yeah, so they gotta be about 24 from end to end. I can't-
As you said.
maybe that's what we're.
The outside would be 16,
Yeah,
16 feet would be the outside dimensions of the tops, and the tops would be inside of that. You know, so the inside space itself would be, you know, 11
yeah.
inside. And again, that could be bigger or smaller, you know, it would certainly probably get a little bit more expensive to get bigger, but probably not much less to get smaller either, you know how that all. But really, their project is putting it together, so.
Will they be movable?
It would not be, it'd be all fastened, it would be movable, yes, you could move it if you needed to, it's not gonna be fastened to the floor, it's a self-contained device, but it would probably get to be. You know, a couple thousand pounds by the time it's all made, you know, or certainly. You could.
You could
certainly
unbolt
do
them and
that.
then move them, right, Lowell?
Pardon?
You could unbolt them from
Oh, yes,
each
you could
other.
unbolt them. You could unbolt them, or if you were just gonna move it across the room, I would just get some jacks or something, I mean, you could dollies, you know, raising dollies, just put it underneath it. We'll pick it up.
Yeah, we'd let Scott worry about that part.
Yeah, well, it could be moved as a unit.
Well, the reason I
Anyway.
ask is because law enforcement still uses this as training
Right,
and they move these desks when they
Yeah.
do it.
So
So,
something they'd probably want to do every time they train.
Yeah.
Right.
moved. Well, so then that's a different.
Well,
You know,
I
you
know
know-
Andy's commented on that and said, you know, if it kind of set back in there, they could probably deal with it, wouldn't have to move it. But my thought is, I guess, you know, as time progresses and the safety center becomes part of the courthouse, are you gonna stay here? Are you gonna move upstairs? Just, we need to keep that in mind. Obviously, if we ever move upstairs, we'll just fit to wherever you wanna go.
I don't think there's any place upstairs we could move to.
So. Yeah,
And eventually, I mean, law enforcement won't be training in here.
right.
mhm.
So I guess that's the question, if Andy's okay with it, you know, that it can't be moved.
Well, actually, this is Andy's design, so,
Well, I know, but is he okay with it now, or is he okay with it in 2 years?
yeah, I can double check with him. Let's see.
There's no training area out in the new building then?
Yeah, but that's 2 years away.
Yeah,
I can double check with him and see.
Yeah, once they leave here, there should be no reason for them to,
yeah.
hopefully no reason.
Well, I know that when we installed all the mics and ran the cords and stuff, Lane kind of sent out a blanket email that said, hey, don't move this stuff. So, I mean, as it is right now, they don't move it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen it moved yet that I'm aware of.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Over the short term, you could probably work around it.
No, you know, 8,000 might seem like a lot. It is a lot. But the other person was 3 times that price.
Wow.
I remember.
Yeah,
So,
this
That
is
was-
plenty. 8Ks, and I imagine that's pricing out with flush mount electrics, I imagine too.
And that would be separate.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. So it's
I'd have to
8K
get that-
plus the
I'd have to
electric.
get that cost figured in there, but. We can order those online
Mhm.
and then when we talked to, the architects on the project for the courthouse. And they'll be back in here doing some work for the, riser for the sprinkler. And we talked to the electrician about getting some power to come down that wall or down that column
Mhm.
to tie this,
Right,
this table into, this commissioner's table into, so we get power in there. Without running cords all across the floor, so.
yeah. Could run down, like say that column, and it wouldn't be very far to come over and would it, I wonder, it'd be possible, maybe not optimum, to chip in so that the conduit to hook up the desk would be flush. Chip, do some concrete chipping.
Right. Little saw work.
They do power poles too, at one corner.
Yeah, true enough, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
that'd be the
actually,
easiest,
you
yeah.
really-
You could do
it's
that,
expensive
too.
way to go.
That'd be the
Just
best
knock
way.
concrete out of it.
Yeah,
Got a drop ceiling, it wouldn't be too hard to get over to that.
That's it, because you can just have that power, and it could just be on one corner or
Could
the
be,
other.
right, either
And I don't
end.
think it would be a.
and we're not talking about much power,
No,
we're
not really.
talking
You're-
about
you're-
hundred
you're
ten
low.
volt,
Amperage,
Right.
yeah, you're just.
number 10 wires, plenty, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Be one circuit for sure would carry everything you guys are doing.
Yeah,
And I would imagine it would be more than 6. Computer wires or
Right.
either, so it's not a lot of stuff. And
mhm.
but again, those are all, and what we could do is I could be before the next commissioner meeting or something, I could come and we could just virtually put that on the floor with tape. And then you guys just see, that might be the easiest thing to do. Imagine exactly what it is, because it is just that simple, just mark it, lay it right on the floor. And see what you guys think of it, and again, everybody, I don't think that anything's going nuts on the
No.
pricing of that stuff, it's kind of leveled out some right now on lumber and stuff, so. They will get busy, J&J is a real busy crowd, but I mean, just when it's done, it would set up and, it would be just a real quick thing to put together, if that's what you guys decide to do.
Well, we've got this in the interim, and if it took months, it'd take months, big deal, I guess, but that's definitely a better price at least.
Mhm.
So overall, we're probably looking at 10 grand, 20.
Probably, that's what I'm
Right,
thinking.
I would imagine a couple grand. That's
Another
my
couple
opinion.
for the electric, if it even gets that crazy, but.
Yeah, if we're able to do a drop, you'd think that'd be plenty.
Yeah, because they do just, the raceway's in the face of that wall.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty simple thing for an electrician.
And I don't know if you guys have, as far as the power data goes, if you have something you like better than the other, the flush mount, the pop up, the one that's already up, exposed facing you, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me, I think.
I was even thinking, if you had outlets in this little stub wall down here, just having some of those little, like,
Grommets.
2-inch little cutout
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
little plastic deals, you can then we could drop our cords underneath and not have them cluttered up the table, I guess, I don't know. Just,
Well, Steve, you put the grommet in there, you still gotta cut the hole,
Yeah,
yeah,
so, I mean, it's just making it more convenient.
sure.
Of course, you're gonna save yourself money if you go that route, with just the grommet, and you feed the wires down through, it doesn't matter to me, so, it's whatever you guys think.
And these are all looking like they're basically, nothing on the front side here, it's
Nope.
just a table.
You can see that cross side section is, that's what it would be, other than there would be an end wall on each end, that,
Cap
you
it
can
off.
see that's that other detail there. There's an end wall on each end. And then it would just be open, completely open. Vinyl
Okay.
base on the floor side that would match, we did the same color as that, so,
Mhm.
Then the face here would be closed, right?
yes, it's all
Panel.
completely closed, yes.
I think that's something we want for sure too, is have a
Mm.
closed fascia.
Right,
Do you have pictures that you can bring to us, Lowell?
Well,
What that would look like?
there are some of what this thing, they haven't really drawn it. This is, like I said, this is pleasured off of another project they're doing right now, and but this would be the configuration, I guess we could show you. I can surely bring in like laminate samples, again, those are infinite.
do they have any pictures of some of their work they've done similar to this?
Yeah.
That we could
Certainly,
get?
so I've
Okay.
installed a couple $100,000 worth of their stuff on campus. J&J Caseworks is a real reputable. They do everything at Avera, or at San Francisco. They do. They're just the company in Sioux Falls, or one of them. That's probably the predominant one that makes casework, and I can sure show you some of the stuff they built. They do a real nice neat job, and it's professional stuff. And the colors, of course, would be anything you want to pick. I mean, there's just thousands of colors around that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not that big
too.
of a deal to me. You can tell by how I dress. Whatever's cheap is.
Yeah. That's the same, yeah. So, and they're all about the same. Other, if you get into the premium, there are some colors that have different shades in them and stuff and finishes that do get more expensive. But the typical, you can pretty much pick certainly 90% of them fit in a range of, that's what it costs, you know. So that would be what would be, this wouldn't be premium colors, I guess. Quarters wouldn't be
Right,
premium, so
right.
Standard colors.
Well, as long as it looks as good as cinder block, it's not bringing the, quality of the room down. So.
No, I can assure you, and like I said, we can sure. Show you, I've not done. This is exact thing. I have set a desk similar to this at church at Bigly Lawrence. There's something in there that we had done, but this is I too looked at, because that's one of the suppliers and asked me, said, well, why don't you guys just look at these? And you're right, yeah, they wanted $6,000 a table. You know, I mean, it
Yeah.
certainly got to $20,000 and it wasn't closed in the front, or I mean, it wasn't wired, or I mean, so
Right.
any of the office supply stuff that does this exact thing is like certainly 3 times.
Yeah, we checked with them. We couldn't they couldn't find the tables and the configuration we wanted. And
Nope, that's.
a couple that I've reached out
They
to.
have some curved ones, but they
Right.
haven't met, you know, your
Right.
face and so. Anyway, like I said, we can, that's what, why don't we just plan on that for the
Okay.
next meeting? We'll just put tape on the floor for you. You guys can look at that and see, and I can bring you some, if I have find some other pictures and stuff, I'll bring that.
Okay.
And that'll be good.
That worked.
That works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Progress.
Progress.
Yeah,
Well,
No?
sure.
yeah. All right. Any building project updates?
I just sent Carrie a proposal for 2 soil boring companies, Geotech and Core Engineering. So she'll send that out. We need to put that on the next meeting, next week's meeting. We need to decide on which company to go with. One was not to exceed 8,000 and the other one said 6,800 and some. I didn't hear you. What is it for? The soil borings on the new site. And I'll clarify on Thursday when we meet again with the team. But I believe, so Geotech's the higher one. But I believe that's the one they want to work with.
Yeah.
So
All right.
even though they're higher.
Yeah, they're a pretty well-established company. I've worked with them many times before.
Well, and that's who we hire for the roads. That's who Rod has, so.
Yeah, I've got an old intern of mine that works there. That's pretty good guy. So there'd be a conflict of interest, I suppose, in having an old intern work for him, but not that big of a deal.
Not unless there's a kickback.
Yeah, none.
All right. So we'll get that on the next agenda. Joint jurisdiction discussion. Sounds like that's coming along.
Yeah, we've been doing 2-a-week meetings. That's going to be suspended for a while. because last meeting we put together and Sean from CCOG has built a questionnaire that we're mailing out to all the addresses of people that own property or live in joint jurisdiction. There's also places, going to be a place, I hope, on our website and on the city's website where you can take a shot of a QR code. Is that going to work for us, Carrie?
Yeah, we should be able to do that.
And the questionnaire is already in the process of being mailed. We put that together, and so we're suspending for a few weeks our twice-a-week meetings while that is out. And it will be also, there will be a QR code put in the broadcaster, I guess, and a few ways for folks to answer these things. It's around 20 questions and just general questions on whether folks there all about transportation, present housing. There's a number of questions on, do you think that we should, that Vermillion itself should expand faster or slower? There are those sorts of general questions. At the end, month or so out, a little over a month out, we'll end up having a public meeting to go over those and then take in more information. And then start writing in earnest after that, and probably be back to 2 weeks, which I think is important so that we, like I said before, we're not plowing the same furrow 2 or 3 times because we forgot what happened last time. Like happens with monthly meetings often. So that's where we're at this point.
Oh.
We've stabilized. One important point is that we've agreed that the present joint jurisdiction area is should remain that way over the next comprehensive plan. Remain at those dimensions.
All right.
Any questions?
Yeah, it sounds like you've made a lot of progress,
Yes.
a lot of work.
Yeah, the guy from CCOG is he's a good he's been good with this and it's really good to get him to come down a couple of times a week like that. He's been well prepared and I've been good at helping us work through this. So it's been pretty productive in my opinion.
Great.
What's the planned term for this comprehensive plan? I know we'll sometimes have like a start date and an end date. So is this like a 5-year comprehensive?
Well, I
plan,
think
or-
they're 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So since our old one expired in 2020,
yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. So we're planless, not clueless for the last few years perhaps. But that doesn't mean that, I guess that doesn't mean we're planless. It means that we're working under the old one, but it's a good idea to update these every 20 years at least. And a lot of jurisdictions will end up have unplanned interim updates to plans. So it's not as if it's written in stone.
All right. Any executive session necessary?
Just want to touch base on personnel or just update you in HR or not.
Let's
Sure,
do
it's
it.
We're moving right along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go in, I do have one question. Are we still on for tomorrow for Rotary?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And anybody who can come is invited. You've all gotten an invitation, Rotary lunchtime, noon.
Noon.
And usually what they do is give every commissioner a chance to talk about, what's up. And Travis is going, I'm going, and we certainly welcome anybody else who can make it.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced as a official meeting, so we may end up with some quorum issues.
Ah,
I've got a safety board meeting at noon tomorrow.
It'd be available, but I don't want to make a quorum, so.
well, there's still time to post it.
Yeah, we can still announce it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
still
Yeah, if we
announce it.
posted it, it would be
Yeah.
it would be fine
Yeah.
for us to do
Yeah.
that. But I
Yeah.
just bring it up because we need to decide that now.
Yep. It'd be,
I don't know how you would have to post it. I mean, it's just gonna be
You just have to
Could be a
post it on
form-
the
could
front door and
possibly-
on the website.
no
before doing-
decisions.
Mhm.
No
Yeah.
decisions will be made.
Just say that it's a quorum may be present.
Yeah.
And that no decisions will be made at that point.
Right,
Might as well throw it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, let's do it.
all right.
Move to go into executive session.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are in executive session.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
It's motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
I
Opposed? We're out of executive session. Is there any further business?
move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? We are adjourned.